Ever think about what goes on behind the scenes to get your lunch on the plate? It's pretty wild. Today we're going to dive into some kitchen automation, specifically a piece of tech that tackles a huge, and I mean huge, problem that most of us probably never even think about.
All right, let's play a little game. Imagine you're in charge of feeding 500 people. Yeah, 500. What's the hardest part? You might think it's the cooking, right? Or maybe getting the recipes perfect. But what if I told you it's something else? Something much more basic.
So in these big food operations, we're talking canteens, restaurants, giant cafeterias like this. The real slowdown, the real bottleneck, it's not usually the chefs, it's the serving line. And the biggest challenge on that line is getting a staple, something like rice, onto hundreds and hundreds of plates, and you've got to do it consistently, super fast, and of course, keep it hygienic.
Yeah, that's what we're calling the daily rice challenge. Think about it. Every time someone dips a scoop into that big pot, the portion size is going to be a little different. That means inconsistent meals and, you won't believe it, a ton of food waste. And during that lunch rush, the line just grinds to a halt. Not to mention, an open container of food, there are always going to be hygiene worries there.
Look, in today's world, everyone's laser-focused on food safety and making things run smoothly. It's pretty clear that the old way, just scooping rice out of a giant tub, it just doesn't cut it anymore. There's got to be a better way, right? A smarter way.
So, what's the answer? Well, you guessed it, technology. We've talked a lot about the problem, so now let's finally check out the solution, an automated machine designed to fix these exact problems. And here it is, meet the Smart Rice Dispenser. It's this sleek, high-tech answer to a really old problem. The whole idea is simple. It gives you the perfect portion of rice every single time just by pushing a button. So cool.
Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Let's pop the hood and see what kind of engineering magic is making this all happen.
All right, you can tell right away this was built for a real commercial kitchen. The body? That's food-grade stainless steel, so it's super durable. The bin on the inside is made from this tough, food-safe polymer that can handle serious heat, like up to 120 degrees Celsius. You could even throw the parts in an industrial dishwasher. It's also got some smart safety stuff built in, like a function that stops the machine if you open the lid. And you control the whole thing with that big, responsive touchscreen. When you break it down, the tech inside is actually pretty simple to grasp. You've got the main control board, that's basically the brain of the operation. Then there's a weighing module, which is just a super precise scale, making sure every portion is spot on. An insulation heating plate keeps the rice perfectly warm, and that polymer bin we just talked about, that's the hopper where all the rice is stored.
Okay, so the tech is cool, for sure. But what's the bottom line for a business? What's the real-world payoff? Let's switch gears from how it works to the results it gets. And believe me, the numbers here are pretty wild. First, let's talk labor. You automate the serving, and suddenly your staff can do other things. We're talking a potential 30% cut in labor costs just for that one part of the job.
Next up, food waste. Perfect portions mean no more overserving. That can lead to savings of up to 20% on your ingredient costs. That's huge.
And then there's speed. This thing is a beast. It can pump out 600 portions an hour. Think about that. That's 10 plates a minute. It is built to crush that lunchtime rush and keep the line moving. But not every kitchen is the same, right? A little cafe is totally different from a giant hospital cafeteria. So this tech isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. It's made to be flexible.
So you've got options depending on your needs. There's a compact model, holds about 10 kilos of rice, perfect for a smaller spot. Then there's a medium one that bumps up the capacity to 30 kilos. And for the really big jobs, there's a massive vertical model that can hold a whopping 60 kilograms of rice.
And here you can really see the difference. On one side, you have that slick little countertop unit. It could fit pretty much anywhere. But then, on the other side, you see the big guy, the high-capacity floor model, just built for pure volume. It's the exact same smart technology inside, just scaled up or down for the job. So when you step back, what's the big idea here? There's this great quote that really nails it. It calls this tech a solution for problems found in the country's most common contact with food. So you see, this is way more than just a fancy rice scooper. It's about completely rethinking a basic, everyday task to make it safer, smarter, and just plain better for all of us.
And that kind of brings us to a bigger idea to chew on. This rice dispenser? It's a perfect example of automating a boring, repetitive job. But as our kitchens and really our whole world get more and more automated, you have to wonder, what's the line?
What jobs should we hand over to the machines, and which ones should always stay human? What part of making and sharing a meal is just too important to automate? Something to think about, for sure.